Hi there, I do apologise about that. Basically, I spoke to my superior manager and they've stated that we're unable to give that to you, I'm afraid. We're not able to send out any written confirmation of that.
So, can I just ask you, Cara, what the name of your senior manager is?
My senior manager is called Bruce Morrison.
Bruce Morrison, and Bruce Morrison has stipulated that you cannot confirm anything to me in writing at all. Did he give a reason why not?
We are unable to. Obviously, I do understand that you've spoken to Ofcom, but I even mentioned that to my superior manager, and obviously we do have statements from Ofcom which states that we do have to provide broadband for the life of the contract, but we do not have to provide that any further than the life of the contract. So there would be no reason for us to provide that written document.
10th of December at 15:05, call to Orange.
Welcome to Orange. If you're calling about a mobile phone query, press 1. For home broadband queries, including EU home phone service, press 2. For mobile broadband queries, including dongles, laptops and Apple iPad, press 3.
After that's calling the Paul, how can I help you today, please?
Oh, Paul, hi. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I've been on hold for quite some time, Paul, and I'm not even sure that you can help me. Because I really don't know which department to go through to. If I just explain, back in 2006, I actually took a contract out with yourselves because it was tempting me in due to it was free broadband for life for as long as I stayed with Orange on my mobile phone contract. So I did that, and then a few months ago I received a letter from Orange saying that you were going to take away basically the privilege of having the free broadband unless I took out my landline with yourselves. Well, I rang and explained to somebody that firstly I'm under contract with BT, so I couldn't do it, and secondly I don't want to anyway. I'm quite happy with BT. But then I was told that whoever it was I was speaking to on the phone couldn't help me, and to actually go through to put something in writing. So I did email something, which was on the 21st of October, and I had an email back saying that you couldn't do anything via email because you need security to my account, etc. So what I then did was put something in writing with a copy of that email on the 15th of November. And I've not heard anything, but I was told that my broadband was being cut off in December and nobody seems to be getting back in touch with me. Now, I have been in touch with Ofcom, and they've actually told me that actually you can't do it because if it actually puts me in a situation where I'm going to be worse off financially, it's not something you can do anyway. But nobody's getting back to me, so I'm not even being able to discuss anything with anybody.
Right, okay. So you're calling from your Orange mobile, are you?
I'm on my Orange mobile, yeah.
Okay. So where's the landline number you've got your broadband again?
Yeah, it's...
Right, okay. Yeah, there was a team which, if you're trying to get through to them, called the Highlanders. Have you spoken to them guys at all at any time, any point?
I haven't, well, initially I rang as soon as I received the letter. And I was told that it couldn't be discussed over the phone to put it in writing. And then the email I got said to ring back, so I rang back again, and they said they couldn't help me. So then I sent the letter and the email to Bristol.
Yeah.
So.
Right, okay, right. Is it one time that you dial to a mobile phone?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you're not being charged for this call, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll get on the phone with the department to deal with these free broadbands that are now being withdrawn, which way they can go. I mean, obviously you're staying with BT for your landline rental because you have to or you want to, or that's your choice.
Yeah, mainly it's because I have to, but I actually would like to.
Well, that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's speak to these guys. They're called Highlanders. They're based up in Glasgow. I'll get them on the line now because those are the guys who specialise and deal with these sorts of accounts, okay?
Right, okay.
That won't be a second.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh. Sorry, who am I speaking to?
It's Justin.
Oh, hi. Have you been given any information at all? It's just that I seem to have told my story about 4 times already today. And I've been on...
Can I take your landline number?
I've been on the phone for 35 minutes already. Yeah, it's my landline.
Is that about your broadband? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically what's happened is I received a letter from you a few months ago saying that if I didn't take a landline with you, that you're going to cancel my broadband.
Yeah.
So I did ring up and was told that it couldn't be discussed over the phone. I'd have to put something in writing. I put it in writing via email. I then received an email back saying that because security details were needed, I couldn't do it via email and I was to phone. So I phoned back again and then I was told to put something in writing. So the email initially came out to you on the 21st of October. I received nothing back, so in the end I did send a letter with a copy of the email to Bristol, Patchway in Bristol, and that went to Orange Complaints Department, and that was on the 15th of November. But I've been told that you're cutting me off my broadband in December, and I've not been able to speak to anybody to even try and resolve this. I mean, there's 2 things really. Firstly, I couldn't take a landline with you because I'm in contract with BT. And secondly, I don't want to take a landline with you. I want to stay with BT because I'm perfectly happy. Now, I have spoken to Ofcom about this, and they've said, well, have you not had any deadlock letters? Because before they get involved, that's obviously what I need. I've not got anything from you because I can't get in touch with anybody that will help me.
Yeah, I actually can't change it because you don't have to take out the employment to get the broadband, actually to receive the free broadband. We do offer just a simple broadband package, that's at £13.50 per month.
But I'm not paying, this is what I'm saying, I'm not prepared to pay for it because I was given, in 2006, I actually came to Orange, or stayed with yourselves, because I was offered a contract with free broadband for life, as long as I kept with a mobile telephone with Orange. Now I've kept my end of the bargain, and all of a sudden you're cancelling my broadband, which, you know, and I'm halfway through my contract on my broadband, on my mobile phone.
It's just because that offer that you got was a promotional offer from Orange.
Right.
The promotional offer said that you can take that away at any time, so it's not a permanent offer.
Well, I didn't receive anything in writing saying it could be taken away from me at any time.
Right. Okay. Basically,
I want to see something in writing that says that I was shown a contract that actually said it could be taken away from me at any time.
yeah, but also in your mobile phone contract.
Yeah.
Have you still got that mobile phone
Of course,
contract?
of course.
Have you got the contract?
I've still got my mobile phone contract.
Yeah, not that, like, have you got like the contract in paper?
I wasn't sent it. Oh, hang on. Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about the broadband.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was never actually tied into the mobile phone. It was just a promotional offer. And if you look in the small print of where you would have signed up to the broadband, if you look in the small print,
I didn't get anything to. I didn't sign anything for the broadband. I took the mobile phone. It was all done over the telephone. I took the mobile phone. I didn't receive anything in writing about the broadband. I didn't sign anything about the broadband. But I was told that it was, no, never ever. I was just told that it was broadband for life, as long as I carried on staying with Orange and renewing my mobile phone contract, which I've done. And I've carried on doing that since 2006. So, you know, but nobody is getting back to me that seems to know legally how this stands. Ofcom is saying, well, actually, you can't do that because you're actually putting me out of pocket by doing so. I've got to go back to them, but I want to know who do I speak to get something in writing from you. And why they're just ignoring me and won't respond to my... Why they're just ignoring me and won't respond to my letters, my emails.
I'm not too sure. Where did you send the letter to?
I sent it to Bristol.
To Bristol?
In fact, I've got a letter here as well that was sent recorded delivery back in 2007 because I've been experiencing some problems with Orange at the time. And in that letter, I actually did send a copy of this as well. In that letter, it actually states about the package for life, including with my Orange package, for as long as I stayed with them. Now, that letter went out and all of the issues were resolved, and nobody sent anything back to that letter saying, actually, that's not the case. And it clearly stipulates in my letter to them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the best thing to do here for you as a customer.
Yeah, I'm being told that you either need to be leaving me with this as the way it is, or you need to be buying me out of my broadband contract, so that I'm not put out of pocket.
And terminate the mobile
The
phone
broadband contract. Right,
I'm being told that you can't actually put me out of pocket by doing this.
what was the broadband contract? What was that signed up to?
How do you mean?
How did you sign up to?
It was somebody from your department, well, from Orange, actually contacted me back in June 2006 it was.
Yeah.
Because I said that I was going to leave Orange because I was going to go to Vodafone because they offered me a better deal. And somebody from your office said, well, what we can do is offer you free broadband for life with Orange as long as you keep renewing your mobile contract. So I did. I've been renewing it ever since then. We're what now, 2012 now, and all of a sudden it's being removed from me, or I'm being told it is.
Unfortunately, it was a promotional offer. I know you're saying you were told it was a promotional offer, so maybe should have questioned more into it. About was it going to be fully for life?
I don't think you heard me. I don't think you heard what I was saying. I've got a letter here that was sent to your officers on the 20th of February 2007.
Yes.
Now I've got a certificate of posting here, which recorded delivery actually. Now I had a few issues with yourselves regarding incidents that had happened since I had taken that contract out back in June 2006. And they're all listed, including the broadband for life, as long as I stayed with Orange on my mobile. Now all of those issues were resolved. So that letter was read by somebody. So all of that was read by somebody because they responded to all of my complaints. Nobody came back to me and said, actually, your Orange broadband is a promotional offer and it's not for life. So I'm not accepting its promotional offer, and what I need to do is, if you can't help me with this, I need you to direct me to somebody who can before I now make a call to Ofcom.
I'm just trying to explain why the broadband has been taken away. I'm not trying to take any passion in it. I'm just explaining what the promotional offer was and stuff.
Did you actually work there in 2006 then?
Did I actually want them to
Yeah.
And I'm saying we were told.
So you've been told what's happened. Well, I'm telling you what I was told as well, and I'm telling you what I've got in writing. So I'm not accepting its promotional offer, so I don't want you to keep telling me about this promotional offer because I don't accept that. What I would like you to do, in my best interest, is either put me through to somebody who can help me, or... Yeah. I was away from my house for a short period of time, and the broadband here was cut off. So what I did was, because I do record all my calls, as you do, because I like to make sure that people don't go back on their word. And when I contacted Orange, I've actually got that in a recording as well. Yes, you're right, it is broadband for life, and we shouldn't have cut you off, and they put it back on again. Now that was in 2011.
Yeah.
That was last year, and I've got that all recorded on tape.
Yeah. Right, okay, what do you want now? Do you want the broadband for life, or you want it until the end of your mobile phone contract?
No, I want it for life. That's what my offer was.
Well, unfortunately, we can't do that. It's never going to happen, to be honest.
As long as you knew,
The best that we could possibly do is give you until the end of your mobile phone contract, and we're giving you warning on that it's going to end at
Well, I don't accept promotional offer. You weren't the one that I spoke to on the phone. You weren't the one that dealt with the letters back in 2007. So no, what I need from you to help me is I need something in writing from you confirming what you're telling me, so that I can then take the necessary action that I need to take. So who will actually do that for me and put it in writing to me? You're actually going to get him to tell me exactly what you're telling me. So I've actually been on the phone now, and this is the third time I've called. I've been on the phone for 43, just under 44 minutes, in fact just over now. So I don't want to be wasting any more time. If you can get me a supervisor that will tell me he's going to put all of this in writing, or she, in writing for me, that's what I need. I need it in writing, what you're telling me. So I'll be pleased to speak to a supervisor, but that's what I want. I don't have the authority to send that out in writing. Right. Can you put me on to a manager then? Yeah. Well, if you can pass me to a manager, that'd be great.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi there, my name's Cara Thursby. I'm a supervisor here at the Orange Broadband Department.
Sorry, what's your name?
Cara Thursby?
Cara Thorsby.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Okay, hi.
Okay, so I understand you're not too happy at the moment.
I'm not really happy, Cara, no. For starters, you're the fifth person I've spoken to in the last 48 minutes I've been on the phone now. And all I'm trying to do is get this resolved. Now, I can explain to yourself what I've explained to your colleague, and then I'll actually tell you what I expect from yourselves by way of something in writing confirming what I'm asking. Back in 2006, in June, I was actually leaving Orange to go to Vodafone, and I was tempted to stay because there was a free broadband for life as long as I kept renewing my mobile phone contract, which is what I did. Then in February 2007, the 20th of February, I had to write yourselves a letter because what you actually offered me at that point wasn't happening. So we're 6-7 months down the line there. So I wrote a letter. I've got a copy of it here, and it went recorded delivery. And all of the issues were dealt with in that letter I actually wrote to you. So somebody obviously read it because all the issues were dealt with. And as part of that letter, it actually says it was broadband for life, included with the Orange package, for as long as I was to continue renewing my mobile phone contract. So then in 2011, my broadband was cut off. I hadn't used it for a few months, and it had been cut off. So I contacted yourselves again, and I was told, and I actually did record the conversation because I get fed up, Cara, to be honest with you, speaking to people that then go back on what they've actually said. So I do have that recorded, and they said that yes, my broadband is for life, it should never have been cut off, and it was put back on again. Now, I didn't have any other issues right up until a few months ago, and I received a letter saying that unless I took a landline out with yourselves, contract, that you were going to stop my broadband. Now, I rang straight away and said, well, there are two reasons why I won't be going with you for the telephone line, the landline. The first one is I'm in a contract with BT, so I couldn't get out of that unless I bought myself out of it, which I'm not prepared to do. And secondly, I'm more than happy with BT, and I'd like to have the choice of staying. I haven't changed the rules here. Orange have. So I was then told that, well, it's only so much a month, and that's not the point, Cara, to be honest with you. Anyway, then whoever it was I was speaking to on the phone said, can you put it in writing? So I sent an email on the 21st of October at 12:45, and a few days later I received an email back saying, can't deal with it via email, you need to ring up and speak to somebody. So I rang again, I was told they couldn't help me, so I was given an address to send all this information to in Bristol, Patchway, Bristol. Now, I sent that on the 15th of November, and I've received absolutely nothing from nobody. Nobody wants to talk to me about it, and I'm being told by the gentleman that's just passed me through to yourself that it was a promotional offer at the time. Well, There's nowhere that says it was a promotional offer. The recording that I have speaking to Orange last year, 2011, doesn't say that either. And my letter that was dealt with in February of 2007, nobody came back and said anything about a promotional offer then either. Now, I've spoken to Ofcom, and what I need from yourselves, if you're not prepared to help me on this, is I need a letter, and I'd like a letter explaining exactly what your colleague has told me, that it was a promotional offer and it can be withdrawn at any time. But along with that, I'd also like to see the terms and conditions from 2006 actually stipulating that, and I'd like to see something with my signature on it as well, because you haven't got anything like that at all, because I didn't sign anything. It was all done over the telephone.
Right, okay. No, I do completely understand it was all done over the telephone. And my colleague was correct in saying that it was a promotional offer, as it's just in the terms and conditions. So when you did obviously update your phone and they asked you if you accept your terms and conditions, you'd have stated that you did. And
that wasn't part of it, because if anybody had said to me at the time, we can be withdrawing this at any time, I'd have said, well, what's the point in me going with you then? Because you could remove it from me 3 or 4 months down the line. I wouldn't have done it, Cara.
Of course, no, they wouldn't have stated that to you. They would have just stated, do you accept the terms and conditions?
Well, how would I know what the terms and conditions were unless they read them out to me?
Of course, that you can request, but at the time, I do understand most customers, they do not request those at the time, and they do agree to that. But what I can offer you is to continue your broadband until the end of your mobile phone contract.
No, I'm not happy with that.
I cannot go any further, because even when you did agree to the contract in the beginning, which is the length of the contract, which would have been the 2006 to 2007, when you got that broadband, when that contract ended, we no longer had to provide you with free broadband at all, because we did advertise it as broadband for life. It was broadband for the life of the contract. It wasn't for life of a human being, if that makes sense.
No, it was the way it was stipulated to me, Cara, and I appreciate that you work for them. The way it was stipulated to me is that it was broadband for life, not life of my mobile phone contract. It was, if you renew this contract, it's free mobile for life. If I continue to renew the contract, then I would still receive the free broadband. And this is my other argument as well. Why have I been receiving broadband free of charge then since 2006 if that wasn't the case? And then last year when I rang up and said, why have you cancelled my broadband? They said, we shouldn't have done it, and we put you back up, they've put me straight back onto it again. So again, they didn't actually stipulate at that time, well actually, it was only for the life of your phone contract in the beginning. They didn't. They said, no, we're wrong. I've got it all on tape. We're wrong, and they put me back on again. So we're going to go round in circles here. You're going to disagree with what I'm saying, and I'm certainly disagreeing with what you're saying to me. So rather than go round in circles, what I need from you is I need you to put in writing for me your position and where you're standing on it. That's what I need. So can you do that for me, or do I need to go higher up and speak to somebody else?
Right, okay, I'm not sure if we would actually be able to do that for you, but I will just double check with the authority. If you bear with me one moment, I can see if we can get that in writing for you, okay?
Thank you, Cara.
Hi there, I do apologise about that. Basically, I've spoken to my superior manager and they've stated that we're unable to give that to you, I'm afraid. We're not able to send out any written confirmation of that.
So, can I just ask you, Cara, what the name of your senior manager is?
My senior manager is called Bruce Morrison.
Bruce Morrison, and Bruce Morrison has stipulated that you cannot confirm anything to me in writing at all. Did he give a reason why not?
We are unable to. Obviously, I do understand that you've spoken to Ofcom, but I even mentioned that to my superior manager, and obviously we do have statements from Ofcom which states that we do have to provide broadband for the life of the contract, but we do not have to provide that any further than the life of the contract. So there would be no reason for us to provide that written document.
Right, okay, well I'll go back to Ofcom then, because that's not the information. I've been asked to get a letter from you confirming why my contract will be, or my broadband will be finished, and nobody seems to be giving that to me. But as I stated before to your other colleague as well, I've recorded this conversation as you do the recordings as well. So I just want to make you aware of that.
You are meant to make us aware of that at the beginning of the call. I did make you aware of it. I actually was talking to your colleague and made him aware that I've been recording this right from when I first spoke to him. Okay, as long as you are aware that you're not allowed to use this for any purposes except from personal use, so only yourself can listen to this call.
No, actually you're wrong, because I've informed you that I was actually recording this conversation, and also I will use this, if I have to, in court.
You have to get the person's permission to use that call in a certain place before you can use that.
I've been sitting here talking to Orange now for 1 hour and 1 minute, and this is just on this telephone call. Now, what I've got from yourself is that your senior manager, Bruce Morrison, I think you said it was, he has said that you cannot and you are unable to put in writing that what you have told me today. Now, I don't understand why you cannot or will not put this in writing. I don't understand why you won't do that, because giving me some excuse about Ofcom have said this so you don't have to put it in writing. Ofcom are telling me I need it in writing from you, but if you're not prepared to give it to me and you're saying that Ofcom have said you don't have to put it in writing, then what I will do is I will play this recording to them so they can listen to exactly what you, your senior manager and your colleague have just told me, and then we'll take it from there. But
that's no problem at all. I mean, I can double check again and see if we can possibly do anything, since you are saying that Ofcom has demanded that you provide this letter.
Absolutely.
But I can double check, but I doubt that we will be able to. Bear with me, okay?
Oh, Cara, before you go, can you check whether it's not that you will be able to, or if it's not because you are not yourself, but you're not prepared to?
Of course I can. It's no problem at all. Hi there, sorry for that.
Hi.
Oh, yes, but I spoke to my superior manager, and he stated that all we can do is escalate this further and see if we can possibly provide you with that information. We will contact the exec office, but that is all we can do at this stage.
Okay, so Cara, so how is it being left now? So you're contacting who now?
We will be contacting our executive office.
Okay, is there any reason why I can't do that?
Of course you can. You can make a formal complaint if you'd like to.
Well, I've already done that in writing. And that's why I'm actually ringing again today, because that was done on the 21st of October and the 15th of November, and I'm still not getting any response, which is why I've called again today.
Right, okay, well that is the only way to possibly contact them, but we will be doing that for you,
right,
so you don't actually have to, and seeing if we can provide you with that documentation.
Okay, when will you be doing that?
We will be doing that today.
Okay, so when can I expect
information on?
When can I expect some kind of response, whether it's a telephone call or whether it's a letter?
You will get response within the next 72 hours, whether it is a phone call that's still ongoing, or with the documentation being sent out.
Okay, and that will be to my mobile phone, will it?
If you would prefer that.
Yes, please.
We will probably contact you on your landline and mobile if we cannot get a hold of you.
Right, that's brilliant, Cara. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Not at all, no. I think we've both been on the phone long enough about this today, so no, not at all, but thank you very much.
That's no problem at all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, bye-bye.